Hey guys, so this week we are learning about the need to develop a deeper understanding. So typically in ordinary conversations, we communicate using shorthand and discuss topics kind of superficially, and it can lead to misunderstandings by making incorrect assumptions, especially from practitioner to client, because we're not really on that friend level, we're more of a professional level, so we don't really understand what their shorthand is. It could be different than what we mean. So, as practitioners, it's important to understand and listen for gaps in information. We have to notice points that aren't clear and ask how conclusions are reached. We need to fully understand our clients, and it's important to gain a complete understanding of them as possible. A complete understanding includes learning about their strengths, their resources, and also their problems and their challenges. One skill to learn to seek clarification, which involves asking questions to invite clients to thoroughly explain thoughts and feelings with specific details. With these details, we gain a clear understanding to problems and the client's feelings. When we as practitioners are confused, the clients are also confused because they're not speaking clearly. For example, from the book, it says if a client says, "I'm depressed," they may be repeating things that they've heard someone else say, and it could be completely different than what us as practitioners think the term depressed means. So we should not assume that their definition of depression is the same as our definition. So we should use our reflecting skills that we've already learned previously. So we can say, "I understand that you're feeling depressed. What is depression like for you?" And that way we can explore their meaning of depression, as well as we can focus on their body language. And we can say, like, "I noticed when we began talking about this, you started looking at the floor. Can you explain to me what you're expressing by looking at the floor?" Basically, to summarize all that, it's when seeking clarification, we need to explore keywords and explore their body language. The client's role in clarification is to be willing to explore more deeply what can be accomplished. And that can be done so by being comfortable with us and being safe with us as a practitioner. However, as practitioners, we need to understand that it's important not to push our clients too hard to open up, and especially if they're apprehensive or if they're cautious about specific things such as abuse or mistreatment and stuff like that. Instead, we have to accept what the client is willing to give to us. We can ask why they're hesitant to open up, but we have to consider our role in the client's caution. We have to understand that it's okay for them to be cautious, but we have to understand why they're being cautious towards us, because we're here to help them. If a client refuses to give more information, it could be because we are moving too quickly, we're pushing too hard in questioning, and it could turn easily into an interrogation instead of a helping situation. A good way to help clients elaborate on their thoughts is through silence. This allows the client time to think and process what has been said to them or what they have said. Maybe we ask something that takes time for the client to consider, and it can be an awkward thing to practice as a practitioner, but it's considered appropriate and respectful responses, especially if the clients are expressing strong feelings and need time to reflect them. And this is when the emotions can become clarified as well. In the book, it says that silence is the most useful intervention available to practitioners. Sometimes clients need time, especially when they're expressing things that involves new insight or understandings, and they need more time to process it. On the other hand, we need to be aware that silence can also be extremely awkward for some clients, and we have to gauge how long of silence is appropriate. And you can notice that by finding nonverbal cues from the clients, such as if they're like shuffling their feet or if they're like tapping their hand because they're feeling awkward and just not really understanding why why it's so silent in the room, and they don't really need time to reflect. An example for a good time to give silence to a client is if they state, "I'm not sure why I get sick so often. Perhaps it's my stress, perhaps it's my fast-paced lifestyle, so on and so on." And it could be an appropriate time for her to have some silence to think about why she's getting so sick. And then maybe she could solve her problem on her own. In order to develop a deeper understanding to our clients, we have to focus on their strengths, resources, positive factors, but also their challenges. Often the client's strengths and positive factors will help resolve their problems. But by turning the focus to the client's strengths and positive factors, the clients can feel more hopeful, more positive, and may be able to cope better. A good way to change the focus to something positive is to just say, "I'd like to change directions," and learn about what's going on that's well in your life. And that can change the complete direction of the conversation. When we're listening to clients, we can begin to identify their abilities, their resources, the capacity to cope with situations, their achievements, and positive factors in their life. Commenting on strengths can invite the clients to change their perspectives from what is wrong and negative to positive thinking. Highlighting what the client has already achieved also shows that we are understanding and support their efforts that they have already made. Some things to consider when thinking about the client's strengths are their resilience levels, their past abilities to solve problems, and their common sense abilities and their support systems, whether it be friends, neighbors, financial support, or social service support if it's available, depending on the situation. As practitioners, we should encourage our clients to identify their own strengths and positive factors, which can be through questions such as asking them, like, what are you good at? What do you like about yourself? Tell me who's helped you out before. Tell me a time that you've helped somebody else out. Or if someone else has had a problem similar to yours, what would you suggest the person to do? The next thing is connecting strengths and empowerment. Our ultimate goal is to have our clients feel empowered. People use their strengths to deal with problems, they gain confidence in their abilities. When we help clients identify their strengths, we can enhance their sense of empowerment. A question to ask them to focus on their empowerment is, tell me something that you have completed that has been difficult. Or what skills have you used to complete difficult challenges? And having them think like, oh, I've actually been able to do something and achieve something that's super difficult on my own, then they're going to feel more empowered and feel like they're able to do more things. And the last thing is demonstrating respect. Focusing on strengths can also demonstrate respect. This can be done by expressing our understanding and validating our clients' stories. By showing interest in clients through feelings, ways of demonstrating respect to clients could be like, maybe if you're in a group, you could say, with all the trained people here, I'm confident that we can find a way to solve our problem. And this expresses respecting their strengths because everybody has a different strength within the group. So I am confident that we can figure out a solution to the problem. So in conclusion, summarizing everything together, to develop a deeper understanding of our clients, we have to clarify what our clients are expressing. Sometimes silence is useful to have the client reflect on their own feelings. If we acknowledge our client's strengths and positive factors, we can change our focus from negative to positive, and that can create our clients to feel empowered, and it can express respect towards our clients by focusing on their strengths. All right, that's everything. Thanks, guys.